Welcome to Political Platform. I am Okiri Agbonsu-Remi. This program is reaching you across the DAP platforms of Africa Independent Television and Raypower FM, as well as our YouTube channels. About 8 months clear to the 2027 elections in Nigeria, governance has taken the back seat. This has become the very usual pattern of our political calendar. While the political class is in their fierce struggle for power, other Nigerians face multiple challenges their struggle to survive with their families. As it appears, many out there are helpless to. Now let me tell you that we have impressed at the studio. Uju Eje, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ohibia. And it's not just malaria medicines. You know, there are more important medicines like people who have hypertension, diabetes. They can't buy their drugs as we speak.
And I call him Dr. Amechi Anakwe, but for the purpose of our broadcast, Amechi, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. You and Uju were making reference to the rising cost of living in Nigeria, which is astronomical.
And Mustafa Mohammed.
Thank you very much. How can we have drugs for malaria when our state governors are having up to 15, 20 SUVs in their convoys running around traffic lights when there are no drugs in the hospital, medical equipment, and so many other problems? I think they need to sit up.
Do you know that in the real sense of the word, there are families that can't feed in Nigeria today?
Exactly.
People who are out there, and I carefully picked out what they are hopelessly helpless. They do not have anybody giving them anything. And I hear that the First Lady is distributing rice in the north. I don't know, each time we had distribution, like the one that was done by former Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, you remember it? Going to the market by himself? It was close to the elections. They carried things to the market, they carried things to the villa. The launch in Kano is always Kaduna that was done by the First Lady, that they want to support the low.
They've actually been doing it the past 2.5 years. The First Lady
you want to ask, is it not better to teach people how to fish than give them fish?
You talked about some families not having food to eat. It doesn't capture the essence very well. You're talking about 63% of Nigerians who are poor. Extremely
Living
so majority of citizens are struggling.
But okay,
go ahead.
Most times we put the blame on the federal government, but let's look at the state government
and the local government too.
Local government, with the several billions and trillions being shared to them by the federal government in the name of state allocation. We haven't asked what are the governors doing with this huge amount of money. Spending such monies frivolously by sending people to Mecca and Jerusalem, people who cannot even feed, you are giving them ticket to go to Hajj and Jerusalem, is of no essence. And beyond that, when we talk about poverty alleviation in the country, most times they line up women and give them little food and small money in an envelope instead of reviving skill.
They share a lot of
bread. And you go beyond that. In places like China, how they conquered poverty by 80% of that. Every village, every town produces
a specialized product.
In the UK, for example, whether you are in Scotland, Ireland, in England, wherever you are, they have some industries they are known for that. The same thing with France. We go to Thailand, Indonesia.
The greatest challenge actually is there are government policies that don't assist local development of industries. I'll give you two examples. Now, do you know that there are genetically modified egg in Nigeria selling alongside locally produced egg? And Nigerians are
alongside natural eggs.
And that has is crashing the price of egg, and the farmers are crying. They can't pay their loans. Now look at the importation of food. They said food security. We need to bring in food. What did we do to those who are producing food locally? In some countries, they encourage local production where they still import and support. In fact, farmers are not bothered by how.
There was a time we used to buy a piece of chicken for like 3,000, 4,000. Now we buy from 10,000 upwards. And then you ask the farmers who are rearing this chicken, and they tell you, look, the feeds are very expensive. So you have just hit the nail on the head. The feeds are so expensive. The things that the farmers need, fertilizers and all, they are very, very expensive. And then you now place them in a situation where the competition is so that they cannot exactly keep ones from abroad.
Yes.
And then they can't even meet up. Again, let me just take you back to the local councils that you mentioned earlier. I think it's either of two things. One, they have become so not attending to their responsibilities. They have become so laid back, because by the time that the governors were said to be taking the money meant for local governments, and spending and just leaving them like that without empowering them to carry out their constitutional assignments, you find that they have become so laid back. I mean, you're not used to doing it. It's not your way of life anymore. Or secondly, the governors are still tampering with the funds of the local government. That's very, very hard.
Lay the blame on the Nigerian state. Mustafa talked about federal state. It's the Nigerian state. The state constitutes of all the tiers of government and ourselves, all the structures, all the social forces, the media, civil society. It's a collective failure that we are going.
Yes, Amechi, these attempts to bring in food, we must not take it like they want to punish the people. It's an attempt to solve a problem. The government is part of their policy to want to solve a problem.
But you're creating bigger problems.
But when you want to solve a problem, do you create a bigger problem?
I shouted when that policy came. I was saying, beautiful, these are interventionist short-term policies that you take to close certain gaps, the rising cost of food prices. But I was asking then, what is the plan for the producers, the farmers? Because the simple implication is that you drive them out of business.
And you are empowering the
foreign farmer. You eat your tomorrow today. What the government would have done by way of offering solution is that you fix prices for those that are producing staples. As we speak, rice mills are closing down because the price, by the time the inputs they buy, the cost of farming, when they put it together, by the time the product gets to the market, is far, far below the price of the imported product. So what government would have done was to build in mechanisms through the development banks, through the central bank, and guarantee them purchase of their products so that we achieve
so that they can go back to the farm.
Going back to the farm will be that we talk about food security. If there's any international crisis now, and those we're importing from can't send to us,
I was discussing with some friends, sometime last year, and they told me that in the US, farmers are so secure because whatever they produce,
business to go and look for market.
The government must buy everything they produce. Yes, in the ocean. Yes, they don't.
But where are the farmers?
Yes, but they must buy up everything.
Where are the farmers? From Zamfara to Katsina, from Benue to Plateau, from Borno to Yobe. You are talking about 33 million displaced farmers who will produce the food stuff. I've been to places like Burdugau, Danja, Dusima, where you see more than 20-30 villages completely burned down. That's in Katsina. You are not even talking about Zamfara. I'm from Borno State. We knew what the Boko Haram war in the past 16, 17 years has done to our farmers. And beyond that, even before this crisis.
So what about those who can still produce that? What about the poultry in around even us here in Abuja that are shutting down?
They are shutting down. I'm coming to that. They are shutting down even before you talk about the poultry, even before the crisis. There were lack of access to farm implements, fertilizers, chemicals, yes, and what have you.
Now let's just quickly, when I say quantum infinitum, and I also say olipotic meritomiasis, I don't know if I got that correctly, and kinetic crystallization, you know whom I'm talking about.
You went to school too much.
People that talk like that. What is
of annual budget?
Professor Ben Ayade crying like a baby whose feed the bottle has been taken. And he said he has been sidelined in the affairs of Cross River State. In fact, the last cry is that the current senator of his senatorial district, Jaribe Agom Jaribe, he is believed to be doing very well. I don't know, I'm not from Cross River State, and I don't know how he got connected so well to the establishment, to the villa and everywhere. And the president asked Ayande, please don't contest. He is crying that, see, he's the only governor. I think he contested before and lost.
And lost to Jaribe.
He contested and lost, and since he left office, he said he bought bicycles, he bought motorcycles, he supported, in fact, he had canopies.
Is it bombastic bicycles?
Jaribe did not get called from
what the former governor is saying is that, please, can you look at my direction?
Nobody's looking at him. It's not him alone. There were former governors, about 10 of them, that were roundly defeated for senatorial positions. Those that exhausted their 2-year tenure for 4 years of 8 years, and they were hoping to move over to the Senate, but they were roundly beaten. Someone like Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State, who even lost in his own polling unit, telling you how unpopular. The gentleman from Benue State, what's his name again? Former
governor of Benue State.
Samuel Okom, that of Apia State, Ibazu. In all of them, somehow they found themselves relevant. They went defected to APC and found a way to
also went to ABC.
These 3 people had access to Revilla through Nyesom Wike, who they were part of the G5 and all that. But for Ayade, he had no anywhere to link up with.
Okay,
maybe they didn't understand him.
Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with our analysis on developments in the political parties. That is talking about the ADC, the PDP, and the NDP.
The stories now break online. Don't miss anything from our real-time updates.
I didn't have a talk back, so I forgot to
participate in discussions on live TV studio programs to shape the narratives. Subscribe, engage, and share from AIT.live at AIT_online on X, AIT Online on Facebook, Official AIT Live on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads on YouTube. Stay connected with AIT on air, online, DOE.
Get ready for a bold new chapter in political discourse. This month of May, the conversations that matter most are stepping into the spotlight like never before. Political Platform, 9 to 10 a.m. every weekday. Premieres May 4th, 2026. Stay informed, stay engaged, be part of the conversation.
Very many thanks for staying with us on the program, and we continue with our discussions on. Let's begin because we are expecting a guest, but before he comes on, let's take a look at what has been happening in the last 24 hours within the ADC, the NDC, and the PDP. Let me give you from the PDP. It's like there's a fresh cries outside of the BOTs. You know that the Supreme Court judgment took away some. Instantly, the Ibadan Convention was taken off, and indirectly, the Abuja Convention was also bruised because of the recognition that the suspension of the secretary before those things that handed over all those matters was legitimate. And now you are having some leaders setting up caretaker. In fact, it was the first of all Adolphus Wabara, said, former Senator Adolphus Wabara, that said he has taken charge of the PDP, and that because all the other things have gone. And then Wike, the national leader of the party, said no, they are joking. I also spoke with the factional BOT chairman, Mao Owambo. I said, look, they don't know what they are talking about. But let's take a report. I think we have a report on that. Let's see what the latest is on the PDP, and then we'll come back to do the analysis.
The new course today, I call on all genuine and loyal members of the PDP to set aside all personal and group interests and come together for the greater good. Nigerians have cried enough. In fact, they have no more tears left. Their oppressors, the ADC, do not know pity. Instead, the APC relishes in inflicting pain on the people. It is therefore time
to give you the pictures for those who are watching on TV, and then maybe we'll give you a replay of that to enable you get the appropriate, put the face to the voice that you were hearing. But let's talk about it. What is actually happening within the PDP? Where are they now?
The Adolphus Wabara led the PDP, constituted a caretaker committee, of course, with Saminu Turaki still as chairman. And then, of course, they have their own across all the offices of the party. But the Wike-led group thinks it's all a joke. It's like, what is about? I think what we're looking at now is the inauguration of a committee set up by set up by Wabara. Yes.
Wow.
Set up by Wabara, and the other side is laughing. We don't know what they will come up with. Maybe they will come up with
BOT.
Yes.
But I'm patiently waiting to read the certified true copy
of the
judgment from Supreme Court, because for me, claims and counterclaims are being made. The other side said,
you think the lawyers haven't read the judgment?
They have. But
some of them I don't see
for certain what the Supreme Court said about the Abuja.
You know what happens? Let me tell you what happens when a judgment is given. When a judgment is given in court, I know it because I was a judicial correspondent. But these politicians that have heightened it, then it was at a low level. They go back to court to go and say, we don't understand. But what they do now is that they just take their understanding.
They interpret or misinterpret to suit their
interest and go to the market with it. And also, we also have to also blame, sometimes some of the judgments are not clear enough. I don't know.
Some of them appear two-faced.
Yeah, they come with some vagueness that you need interpretation. You need somebody to tell you what it is and how it looks like. So everybody is holding on to it like, I am doing that.
I'll give you some instance. The Labour Party matter got to Supreme Court. After the judgment, everybody was confused. The personalization continued. It went back to High Court. From High Court, it went to the Appeal Court. Abure also lost. They gave him a heavy fine of 10 million. And from that Appeal Court, Abure swore he's heading to the Supreme Court. So for the second time, the Supreme Court will adjudicate on the
So why is it that
Appeal would say with PDP?
Why is it not possible?
And we are dealing with the ADC, where the Supreme Court say, get back to the trial court and start.
Even when you maintain the status quo, what prevents the judge for for goodness sake, he's saying this is the status quo that
So
we need.
to avoid this confusion, the
I know lawyers have better knowledge.
put their feet down and deliver judgments or make rulings or pronouncements that come with clarity. They should go beyond this broad delivery of pronouncements and.
But you know what? You know what some people said? Let me tell you what some people did. When Igige was removed
As a governor of Anambra.
governor in Anambra State, he told me a story. In fact, not just, he told us a story. He said he was pressured by his aides because they had gathered money. He said he was not even there when they gathered the money. He said they had gathered the money to say we have to see their is it holiness we call them now, the justices. They are the ones that will say everything.
lordship.
The lordships. I call them holiness because they, according to Justice Oputa, say we have a final say. We just say it and that is the end. If you like, go to everyone, go and appeal. Now he said they said they have to collect money to go and see the judges. Only one of the justices declined to even say anything about it. Because you see, when you collect from here and collect from here, like the third term agenda of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, where some people were given and the Atiku camp will also come to give, they absented themselves from the plenary so that nobody will say they
were there against.
So these are some of the things that make, according to critics, make the judges to deliver vague so that they the truth
Make everybody. In the case of PDP or Kyria, in the case of the People's Democratic Party, no matter which faction is going to have the upper hand before the election, the party has already been destroyed. The most prominent people in the party, the financiers, mostly have run out of the party. And those who are controlling the remaining part of what you can call the PDP now may not, especially at the federal level, have any influence during the next election. We are not saying that they are not going to have a few National Assembly members, perhaps maybe one or two governors if they are lucky. But the election, the contest, I believe, is not majorly between APC and PDP or APC, ADC and PDP, or if you like, you include the NDC. This is a political party whose members forgot God and proudly said they are going to rule for 60 years.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you because we have to go to Benue now. But before we go to Benue, what is happening in NDC? They are jubilating. They are the new bride. Everybody is waiting. The court cases that they have. What are the feelings, Dr. Michi?
Well, Dr. Madro, who was also seeking to register his political party, ADA, was unable to do so.
And he went to court.
Before he went to court, NDC, by way of court order, got their own, because when NDC started,
and INEC didn't appeal that
INEC didn't appeal, and the period has elapsed, except it goes back to sick leave. So NDC got registered because INEC objected to his symbol. He said a two raised hand in victory. They said it was similar to ADC's broom. They went to court. The court said no, they are different. They are different. There's no similarity, and ordered INEC to register it.
So why
register? Omar now felt frustrated. He became he's a promoter of ADA, or Democratic Alliance, that INEC has refused to register. He himself has gone to court, doing what NDC has done. But beyond going to court, frustrations in the sense that you didn't register me. But he's saying he's going to court to challenge NDC. It's only INEC that can challenge the judgment. Because ADA, we are not parties to the case. So you become a meddlesome interlocutor when you are not a party to the case and you want to appeal on it.
Quickly, the ADC. Mustafa, what's happening in the ADC? Have they not seen the issue?
Everybody knows.
They are getting ready to do their primary.
Yes. You see, this team in the ADC that gave hope and aspirations for so many was the union of El-Rufai, Konkoso, Peter Obi, and Atiku. When these four big horses come together, you cannot just wave them off with the back of your hand. But by the time this Peter Obi, Konkoso left, and El-Rufai with facing court cases, and you are having Atiku only, you know, the influence of Peter Obi, the number of votes he would have brought to the ADC from the southeast and southwest and other sympathizers from the northern Nigeria. We've seen during the last general election, even places like Lagos, Plateau, Benue voted for Labour Party, and if now in the ADC, it's not in the ADC, you know, that is quite a problem. And for Atiku Abubakar, it might actually be a frustration, because you can imagine if Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi comes together. Let's jump to Benue now, because we are supposed to, we are expecting a guest, the chieftain of the NDC. When we get to that point, we have all the opportunity to ask questions about NDC. But let's quickly go to Benue now, where we have the SGF, Secretary to the Government of Education, Akume, and Governor Alea, they have their legs on the same trouser. Do you know how they say those days when you have your
we put our leg on the same
trouser. You can't sit, you can't lie.
So what is happening in Benue State? What is the situation in Benue State? Because there was a reconciliation effort to be done,
ordered by the president. They met, but apparently after the meeting, they were saying
the vice president made a call at the APC event, referring to them at the last meeting of the APC during December. I was there at the Villa Congress Hall. He pleaded that they should go back and mend their differences.
He asked Akume on 2 occasions. Akume was there. Asked Akume, and we are hoping that brother to mend fences.
We were hoping that.
Let us put this squarely. The president had made it clear before that governors, because he didn't want to interfere. For those who were coming to the villa to say, please make me candidate. Say, look, please go back to your governor, go and sort it out. Why is this Benue own different? Why is the governor having a problem? Is it because an SGF is from the state?
Not just an SGF.
It's a former
loyalist of the associate, I would say. They were in ACN together. They were colleague governors, class of 99 and others. So when the president made that pronouncement, you know, there are exceptions. He allowed this crisis to fester. A lot of people expected the president to have moved in the way he did it, tried to severally, caused several meetings for Rivers State tussle between Wike and Fubara. For Benue, no direct intervention from the president. So he left it too late towards this eve of the election. I asked them to go and meet and see how they can. But like you said, the president had made a categorical statement. The governors go and conduct primaries. But for Benue, he said, go and meet, hoping that there will be a shift.
Is anybody happy? Is anybody happy?
The president might be in a bit of a dilemma here, you know, because one, he has made a policy statement, okay, you go to your governor is in charge of.
Meanwhile, he has
exactly, but this man, his governor colleague, you know, when he was governor, and his current SGF Ohiria.
Yes.
And so it is difficult to just cast this man aside. But again, you know that the Benue situation is something that has lasted for decades.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yes, the rivalry
is anybody sitting down to harvest from this crisis? Because usually when there's a quarrel like this, a political party will just zoom in or wait for the person who is dissatisfied.
None of them wanted to be against the president. Benue crisis was actually the very first crisis post 2023 general election, because it started from the choice who will be the speaker, choice of speaker. Both camp mobilized and went to battle, as it were. Somehow Alea prevailed. That was when it started, even before the inauguration of the parliament, even before everything. But that's what I'm saying, is if it has festered for so long, and I doubt seriously whether they can resolve it before their
because even when Tom was there, the same situation prevailed. There was always rancor. There was always, you know,
I just wish maybe because of my my journalistic, I just wish to report that following this crisis, somebody is planting and
they're mending fences because it's for their own good. The party that will lose they don't.
I'm not asking for fences to be made. I'm thinking like the president now say if they are quarreling, I'm not the one that caused that quarrel, but I will be happy that so that I can make my own move to do what I want to do. We have,
but does the president have an agenda in Benue?
We have situations in Zamfara, quarrel that led to the party that was supposed to have won losing at the end of the day through
rivers
too through the courts. In fact, if you remember Lagos State during the Agbala Jobi and the Otedola matter, when they just waited and if you don't give me the ticket, we moved. I think it was a move. They say, how did they say that time? Woman just okay or something like that. They just go there and at the end of the day, the popular candidate Sarumi didn't get it. It was taken by. So some of these political parties, particularly the smaller political parties, those political parties that don't have the strength, these are areas that they should go into to say we are correct, we are okay, we don't have any record, we have better programs. Leave these people who do not believe in what you are doing, and then begin to work towards gathering.
But we haven't seen that happening. Either they are intimidated or they are so self-centered in their considerations that they can't seem to see the larger picture that they should be tapping into.
Unfortunately. Now, what do we do? I don't know if we have the guest online now. All right. Now, if we have the NDC and the NDC getting excited, we have the PDP almost every corner having their leadership. Then let's look at, before the guests come, what is happening within the ADC in the last 24 hours. Now, Kola was here yesterday, Kola Ologbondeyan, who told us, look, we are, to put it mildly, we are announcing our injuries. We are trying to find out how we are going to survive within the template that stands set by the movement of Peter Obi and Kwakwaso. Now, is there anybody out there? Because what I got yesterday is frightening. I don't know if it is to say the mass movement of people who supported Peter Obi, those who had already registered with NDC, who are now moving to the NDC.
Who had registered with
ADC. They were registered with it. They are now moving to NDC. And somebody was asking, are they sure that Peter Obi will not run away from there again if he doesn't get the ticket? If they register, and there's a law by the independent being obeyed by the Electoral Act that the Independent National Electoral Commission has said it is going to move strictly. You cannot be a member of two political parties, and there's a limit of time that you can be a member of a political party before elections.
By May 8th. So if you're not a member of a political party,
how is this one going to affect the NDC?
I think it was negotiated. We have the Obi Kwankwaso team was negotiated even before they came in, so I'm not expecting any problems with that. But for the ADC, they have to pick up.
We have our guest. We have our guest with us, like chieftain of the NDC, Dr. Odiri Osusu, who is joining us from Yenagoa, and we'll have all the opportunity to ask him questions. He looks so beautiful, and we hope to get all the beautiful answers from him. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Dr. Diyowi, can you hear us? Okay, I think he's talking.
Can you hear us, please?
I can hear you.
Okay, very good. Welcome.
I can hear you very well.
Yeah, welcome to the program. How is Yenagoa this morning?
Very calm.
Calm? And,
very calm, yes.
Okay, that's fine. Now, what is happening within the NDC? You are the new bride. What is happening within the NDC? Tell us, take us inside the NDC and tell us what is happening.
NDC, I'm not a new bride. I'm a part of the foundation of NDC.
No, not you as a person. I mean the party is the new. I mean the party is the new bride in Nigeria.
NDC as a party.
Yes.
Is doing very well. It's doing very well today in Yenagoa, in Bayelsa State, and we see it as a home party. because the way the political dance at the national has become so frightening to all those who are willing to play politics in Nigeria, where people are forced to one party. And so the NDC that came in is to rescue the millions of Nigerians who really want and believe in a plural democracy with many parties. You have been analyzing the situation of PDP and ADC. These were created by enemies of democracy. And as you close one road, the genuine force of democracy will open another road, and that is why we arrived at NDC. The NDC today is without blemish. In all the laws they are even cooking, by the grace of God, we can still go through. And today we are very excited at it. We are doing very well. It's growing so fast. Even though they tell us that we don't have money, but we have the people.
But you also have
the situation of NDC in Bayelsa State.
We
are very hopeful.
One of the criticisms that's rising is that you don't have structures. You are not anywhere. You are going to be inheriting.
That we don't what?
That you don't have structures. You are going to be inheriting the structures and the problems of people who are joining you. How are you prepared for that?
No, I didn't get you. The network took you off. We don't have what?
One of the fears is that the NDC currently, or just before those who joined that came, you didn't have a structure, and those who have the structure who are joining you now are coming in with their structures and their problems. So how you prepared? It's like, are you ready to
inherit the problems?
We have it. Well, maybe you are talking of a national structure. NDC as a new party has a structure. It is a structure that is registered with. So when you say that we don't have a structure, in Nepal, for instance, the structure is very strong. Every state has its own structure before collapsing into the national structure. So we have a structure. Talking about the election today in Bayelsa State, we are there because we have a structure. We are the owners of the structure that has formed the NDC.
Okay.
So at the national level, yes, it may vary. At the national level, it may vary. That is the truth.
Okay, NDC is a national party. That's a fact. Another fact is that it is rooted in Bayelsa. The promoter, founder, national leader is from Bayelsa. Now, let's take a look at the internal dynamics within Bayelsa. A former governor, national leader of a party that has a national followership now, and you can call it the fastest growing political party in Africa now. And a state government led by a governor who has access to federal power and all that. And elections will come. Bayelsa is always interesting. Putting the scale, both parties on the scale, tell us what are the dynamics in Bayelsa State for the APC and for the NDC?
Well, I think Bayelsa has already defined these dynamics of what do you call it? The power. Hello?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
So, yes, they know we are talking of federal might in the election. Federal might. But Bayelsa state election has been offline elections. Hello?
Yeah, we are hearing you. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
So it has always been very good offline elections. Now, from 2015 till the last election, we have always worked against federal might, and we have always won. So it's not a matter of whether the governor today is in APC or is in NDC or ADC. No. Whether we are in the same party or not, the human beings are the same people. What you have been analyzing is the suffering of Nigerians, which does not know about party belonging. If food is expensive, there is no way if you're an APC person, the food is cheaper for you. It's for everybody. So everybody will continue to try to see whether they can get the best of the coming candidates in the election. And what will determine it is the nature of the person you have as a governor. If APC has a very credible candidate and NDC has a very credible candidate, it will be a very wonderful election. Now, what will remain is the party ideology, as the followership of the party. That's when it will be. So, I believe that the governor being in APC and we are in NDC is not a threat. It's not anything to worry about. It is about how the general picture of the state is and how the general picture of Nigeria is. Are the people happy with the current administration of APC? If it is yes, why not all of us vote for APC? If it is no, then why not we vote against them? Whether you are there or not, the price of food is the same thing for you. So you must try options. Like Machiavelli said, people will always want to change positions without knowing whether it will be better or not. So that is the situation. We don't have any problem.
Confident because you were all in the same camp before. So when you say you won against federal might, you were all together in one camp, but now that camp is divided. So the strength is not like before. And then you're working, or you will be contesting against a governor who is seen to have done creditably well, brought so much development to Bayelsa State. Are you still confident?
There are what we call the fundamentals of elections. Who are the people that made the government? Every government is made by people. Are all the people sit together? If all the people are not stick together and now they are divided, nobody has an upper hand against the other. So it now depends on how you regroup yourself and the genuineness of your cause. Yes, we were together, we worked together. But even if we separated, there will be crisscrossing movements. As you separate, you have new friends. So how many of the new friends are you going to have against the old friends that are left? That becomes the dynamics of the election. Already there are movement. People are passing each other on the road. Some going to APC, people coming back to NDC. So
Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Do not say whether or not.
Are you hearing me? So, just before you go, Dr. Susu, I wanted to find out from you.
Yes.
I wanted to find out from you just before we allow you to go. What you are inheriting? You didn't answer that question. You have people who are coming in. Nobody knew so much of.
No.
I'm coming, sir. Nobody knew so much about NDC as a political party, the ideology, or everything it carries. Now you are bringing in people. People are coming into the party with a lot of weight, with a lot of background. They have their liabilities. They are coming in. How ready is the NDC to contend with a Kwakwaso, with a Peter Obi, with all those who are coming in? Are they not going to subsume and remove the myth that you originally knew about your party?
I do not think so. If Kwakwaso and Obi are able to sort themselves out to arrive at a single pair, it means that the NDC and that single pair will be able to sort itself out. People, you see, at a certain point, you abandon certain interests for the common good of humanity. At a certain point, so there must be adjustment continuously. And these adjustments are the constants of the business of politics and democracy. So once the adjustments are on, we will both parties will adjust until we arrive at a common goal. And that will be for the good of humanity. So I do not see them coming in to hijack everything and superimpose whatever they are coming with on the people. Because don't forget that before they moved, there had been a long discussion and negotiations. They didn't just get up that day and say we are going to end this and NDC come. No. There have been discussions. So most of this have been reconciled before this time. Thank you.
Susu, for joining us on the program. I hope that we'll always have you each time we have to get clearance on what is happening.
I'm available.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program. That's a chieftain of the NDC, Dr. Odiwi Osusu, who joined us from Bayelsa, to give some answers to some of those questions we have been asking for. Thank you for joining us. Now, what do we say about the fact that we actually have a challenge with people coming to a new party and the party will just receive them and
against the assets and liability.
In fact,
But it has happened in the past when SDP came up, during the last election, Shehu Gabam and others have received people in the SDP. Gaza, Wadada joined the party and won their election to the National Assembly because they could not get ticket in the APC. And of course, the biggest problem a new party will have, no matter who are their presidential and vice presidential candidate, is that except you have alliance and merger like Buhari, Tinubu and others did, a single new party, no matter whom you put that, you can only win 1 or 2 states like Konkoso did in Kano, like the PRP, you know, Balarabe Musa, Abubakar Rimi. I don't think they have this big opportunity at the national level, no matter who they put as their candidate and running mate for presidential in the next general election.
Okay. Now let's quickly go to our mail. By the character of political platform, we allow our listeners and our viewers across the platforms to tell us what they see, what they hear. We get the bites and the feeling from them of the political developments around Nigeria. Of course, we continue to ask you to send in your mails to a political platform at dagroup.com. And for those who are watching on our YouTube channel, please leave a message. We'll also take them up and read them and share your views, what you think. I also personally want to appreciate the excitement generated by my comeback to the program yesterday. My walls were filled up, both Twitter and Facebook, welcoming me to the program. I appreciate your followership. But let's take our mails now. Let's see who is talking to us today.
Good morning and thank you, Agbosurimi. Many thanks for staying with us today. Welcome to Citizens Perspective, formerly the mail segment on political platform, where we take your views on critical issues across digital platforms. My name is Fumilayo Emopai. And the first reaction this morning is from our mail, and it's from Emeka Mba from Abuja. And he says, as soon as there were feelers that Peter Obi was heading to National Democratic Congress, NDC, a wave of controversy suddenly erupted following the registration of the party, as Umar Ado, a chieftain of the All Democratic Alliance, ADA, on a national TV program, questioned the registration of the Senator Saraki Dixon-led party, claiming that it was fraudulent. There are indications that Umar Ado of ADA is set to seek legal action. And Emeka Mba from Abuja is still saying, recall that the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, is calling for the registration of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, publicly voiced his support for the deregistration prior to Peter Obi leaving the party. Is anyone still in doubt that the government of the day just don't want Peter Obi on the ballot? And the next mail is coming from Omolayo John from Oroyo in Abuja. And she says, Peter Obi political advisors aren't on the right track. Peter Obi of ABGA, PDP, LP, ADC, now NDC. Instead of jumpology, he is supposed to position himself as a political giant and strong structure builder. Politics should prioritize citizens' welfare rather than personal ambition and business ideology. God bless Nigeria. And more reactions, and this is from ex-user Hamlet. And he says, APC has zoned their ticket to South, PDP has zoned their ticket to the South, LP has zoned their ticket to the South, NDC has zoned their ticket to the South, AAC has zoned their ticket to the South. But he is asking here, but it is only ADC that is standing against zoning because they want to please the unifier. More reaction from the ex-user to Fahad Danladi. I would rather have a fair, just, and developed society under a Christian-Muslim ticket than chaos, corruption, insecurity, poverty, unemployment, economic collapse, etc. under a Muslim ticket. If Peter Obi Kwankwaso will salvage Nigeria from imminent collapse, they have my vote. We must look beyond religion and tribe if we must truly, if we want a better Nigeria. And Abubakar Sadiq Umar, also from X, is saying, NDC is clearly not a viable option at this point. A party already facing legal challenges tied to its registration, plus the controversy around its national legal advisor, is simply not a risk worth taking. There's no point investing in what is likely not going to stand. Peter Obi and Kwankwaso still have a narrow window to move to a blemish-free party and pursue their ambitions. That opportunity won't stay open for long. And that's all we can take today on the very first edition of the segment Citizens' Perspectives. Do well to keep sending us your thoughts on political platform at dagroup.com. Political platform continues with Agbosuremi and the rest of the crew. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Fumi, for giving us those. We had so much mails coming in. We had so many people wanting to share their views. We please want to encourage you to continue to share your views with us. Give us your information. Let us know how you feel about the program. How is it resonating around you? Are there things you want to suggest to us? But more importantly, tell us what you feel about the polity. Because the whole essence of political platform is to shoot the issues on top of the burner and reduce the politics. Yes, it is political platform, but we look at the issues, how are the citizenry taking it, how are they benefiting, how are they participating, are the doors being shut against them? That is what we want you to do when you send us mails. Tell us how you feel about it. Gentlemen, gentlemen and lady, or lady and gentlemen.
Gentlemen,
our time is up. Let me just hear one bit from each of us and then we wrap up.
Interestingly, one of the people who sent the mail talking about Christian, Muslim. You see, religion is not the problem of the Nigerian citizen. It's ignorance, poverty, lack of infrastructure, corruption, bad leadership, insecurity. It doesn't matter if you put a goat or pig or dog there to become your leader. So long
as it the system?
I think the systems are citizens.
Dr. Meshi, is it the system? People have been talking about the system.
It's a weakness of the state. We need to rebuild our state structures and institutions.
So you're basically talking about the systems, you know, and the institutions, because we have, in climes that work, in climes where democracy thrives, those are climes where institutions are built solidly and the institutions can carry whatever fallout you have in such countries. In Nigeria, our systems are weak, our institutions are almost non-existent.
Well, when we come back tomorrow on the program, you have more. We have pledged to you that we will give you the program as it is. We'll look at both sides of the coin, not just those sides. We'll look at the edges of this coin to tell you what is happening so that you can have a robust view. To enable you make your decision, take your decision. Those who don't have PVCs, please go and get them because we are going to ask you to do that for us so that all of us can participate in the elections. Now, next on the program, after political platform, will be Moneyline with Nancy. On behalf of my colleagues here, wait for us tomorrow and we'll give you just the way it is. Thank you for joining us on the program. I am Okiri Agbonsuremi.